Used to keep the sound wall high, 6 feet of silence, move through the city on default. Just a low-grade pilot, navigating concrete grids, headphones canceling the noise. Yeah, I thought isolation was just a frequency choice. Then you walked into the frame, rearranged the whole production. A sudden warmth in the air without the slightest introduction. Now the city hum outside, it just sounds like background noise. Cause the only signal clarity is the sound of your voice. We're sitting cross-legged on the floor, past the midnight curfew. The blue light from the street lamp is the only thing shining through. And I'm watching how your shadow hits the peeling stucco wall, realizing I haven't heard the static in my head at all. This ain't a high-speed chase, no 120 BPM thrill. This is the rhythm of a shared breath, staying perfectly still. You're the quiet drop, the perfect bass line I was meant to find. 92 BPM, so syncopation for my scattered mind. This feeling has a low-pass filter, cutting out the unnecessary. Not a hug, you're the whole album, the necessary clarity. Yeah, this is true fidelity, finding the warmth in the crackle. The jazz keys dropping slow where every word is actual. Yeah. We talk about the low-stakes things, the messy parts and failures while you're scrolling through bad TikToks, ignoring all the tailored spoilers. I see the tired lines around your eyes when the morning catches up, and I don't feel the urge to clean the clutter from your coffee cup. That's the difference, right? No pressure, keep the spotlight steady. No need for dramatic light in my performance, already ready. Because you get the unspoken script, the silent argument I'm having. You're not demanding sunshine, you respect the inner craving for the quiet analog feeling like spinning LPs. The needle drops and there's that comfort in the slight irregularities. You're the sample I loop, forever the one I'll never chop. The gentle reassurance when my own momentum starts to stop. This ain't a high-speed chase, no, it's 120 BPM thrill. This is the rhythm of a shared breath, staying perfectly still. You're the quiet drop, the perfect bass line I was meant to find. 92 BPMs from syncopation for my scattered mind. This feeling has a low-pass filter, cutting out the unnecessary. You're not a hook, you're the whole album, the necessary clarity. Yeah, this is true fidelity, finding the warmth in the crackle. The jazz keys dropping slow where every word is actual. I used to think that love meant pushing for a loud applause, a crashing cymbal moment to find all the natural laws. But it's this quiet confidence, this undeniable groove, the subtle way you nudge my tempo when I start to overmove. I finally found the master recording, no need to remix or adjust. The foundation is solid now, built on transparency and trust. We skipped the honeymoon phase and went straight to the comfort zone. Now I understand what home frequency actually means when I'm alone. Yeah. Home frequency, just the sound of your chest rising, perfectly in time. Lo-fi static, low volume. This 92 BPM steady heartbeat. We'll just loop this moment forever. Lo-fi on the speaker, dusted out vinyl crackle. You're scrolling through my algorithm, checking where the snacks are. It's 1:30 a.m. or maybe closer to 3, but time dilates when you're next to me. Suddenly free of the need to perform or keep up a facade. Just two souls trading comfort in the shared abode. The city hums a low frequency outside the glass pane, but the frequency we built here, that's where my heart remains. Used to chase the light and the big explosion, the sound. Now I just appreciate the silence when you're around. The steady weight, the anchor drop, the beautiful stall. Yeah, I think I like this kind of ground. If all the world outside is frantic, just the feet I scroll past. But the wavelength we found, yeah, I hope this wavelength lasts. It's not a fever dream, it's a confident, soft clarity, a kind of everyday essential quiet rarity. This isn't fireworks or neon signage in the sky. It's 4 a.m. gravity, where we both just lie. It's the muted keys of the jazz piano loop on repeat. The perfect rhythm I needed beneath my tired feet. It's knowing every answer sentence, watching you breathe. It's the quiet hum of the apartment, the comfort you weave. And baby, that's what the real kind of love is. A tiny scar right above
of your eyebrow, the way you only hum the bass line when you're thinking. Now we trade old trauma like trading passwords we don't mind sharing, discussing all the minor chords that nobody else is hearing. I watch you work on a laptop, tapping at the keys, finding the perfect structure in the digital breeze. And I realize the masterpiece isn't the grand design, it's how your presence makes the fragmented pieces align. We learned to unpack years of baggage in a single afternoon. Now your toothbrush lies beside mine beneath the cold moon. The shared calendar, the merge accounts of subtle evidence of permanence found not in vows but in shared residence. This isn't fireworks or neon signage in the sky. It's 4 AM gravity where we both just lie. It's the muted keys of the jazz piano on repeat, the perfect rhythm I needed beneath my tired feet. It's knowing every ounce that's in us, watching you breathe. It's the quiet hum of the apartment, the comfort you weave. And baby, that's what the real kind of love is. I spent years seeking the rush, the temporary spike, but you taught me the warmth of the perpetual low light. You're not the destination, you're the holding compass. Honestly, no need for a map, just this quiet synchronicity and the realization hidden heavy like the bass drum. You don't escape the storm, you realize where home has come from. Yeah, 4 AM gravity. Just a slow decay of the city noise. Headphones still resting on the table, no need for a talk. We just let the feeling settle softly. Yeah, this is home, this is where the quiet lives. Cheap lines, you're dead asleep on my left side, tangled in headphone wires, and I'm just sitting here watching the clock hands creep slow, analyzing the silence. It's the cleanest noise I know. Used to need the city buzz to feel like I was grounded, used to mistake the frantic pulse for being profoundly sounded, but now the rhythm is your breath, a steady measured beat, a soft percussion track keeping my anxiety obsolete. I look around the room at the chaos I call mine, the stack of worn out paperbacks, the half-finished design, and realize every chip edge, every dusty windowsill looks like a safe harbor now standing perfectly still. We're moving off the minor key, yeah, this is calibration, finding the perfect spot between the hum and the syncopation. This ain't a temporary signal, no, this is the fixed frequency, but a Betty Hertz, baby, maximum transparency. We got analog warmth in a digital age connection. You are the permanent soundtrack to my deep introspection. I wasn't searching for a beat, I was just finding my counter rhythm, the low infidelity. I swear I finally got the system. I let you see the folders marked, do not open sensitive. Showed you the old trauma where my defensive walls live, and you just organized the files, gave them names I could pronounce. Didn't offer cheap fixes, didn't demand an account. We share the passwords to the past, the keys to the future plans. We talk about flawed infrastructure and gentle helping hands. You knew my mother's favorite poet after just one late night call. You know the precise way my composure tends to fall. It's the quiet observation, the way you notice first when the vinyl skips slightly, when my batteries burst. No grand performance necessary, no need for the stage lighting, just too complicated humans learning how to quit fighting. We're moving off the minor key, yeah, this is calibration, finding the perfect spot between the hum and the syncopation. This ain't a temporary signal, no, this is the fixed frequency. Want it top the hertz, baby, maximum transparency. We got analog warmth in a digital age connection. You are the permanent soundtrack to my deep introspection. I wasn't searching for a beat, I was just finding my counter rhythm, the low infidelity. I swear I finally got the system. Ooh, I used to think my solitude was the price of true creation, that vulnerability was just a temporary station. But you're the silence where the great ideas actually germinate, the comfortable quiet where the wild thoughts dissipate. I stripped away the facade, the filter, the high gloss sheen, and you still saw the potential for the beauty in the unforeseen. No more echo chamber, just all focus when I look at you. Suddenly everything's aligned, the signal's coming through. Fixed frequency, steady stream, you breathing right here next to me, the ultimate daydream. Low-fi static phase into the sound of two bodies sync, the connection holds, yeah, for the harmony. escape, yeah. Another Sunday morning, we didn't wake up late. Just lingered in the static, the low hum of the AC. The messy parts of life that never seemed to faze me. Used to keep my orbit tight. A closed loop system had the blueprint memorized, avoiding any rhythm that felt too quick or too much like a sudden drop. But you walked in the room and the whole damn clock stopped. I'm talking about the calm that follows the high stress year. The feeling when the credits roll and the coast is finally clear. I watched you pour the third cup, staring at the dust motes. Realize this quiet piece is the only truth that floats. Wore my armor thin for so long, trying to deflect. Now I just surrender to the things I didn't expect. Hey, 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 hey. This ain't the high def drama, no widescreen, big budget scene. This is the lo-fi filter, the middle ground, the in-between. You're my 92 BPM state of mind, the perfect gentle sway, the bassline rhythm that gets me through the day. Before you, my frequency was all white noise and haze. Now I'm tuning to your channel, no room for a wasted space. Yeah, this is the analog pause, the sound of the needle dropping. The only place I know where the anxiety stops spinning. Body stops spinning. Remember that night we stayed up till the streetlights dim, talking about our childhood fears, the chances we skim. Most people only get the edited, polished version, the curated feed, the careful social diversion. But you see the skip tracks, the errors in the mastering, the times I nearly cracked, the fragile things I'm plastering, and still call it art. You hold the broken pieces steady. We traded passwords and history, now we're already ready to skip the small talk, go straight to the root of the matter. Like how mood depends on the sound of the rain patter. We put the phones down, that's the digital detox rule. Finding true connection is infinitely cool. It's the shared headphones on the train, the slight touch of the hand, understanding without language, the silent command, the silent command. This ain't the high def drama, no widescreen, big budget scene. This is the lo-fi filter, the middle ground, the in-between. You're my 92 BPM state of mind, the perfect gentle sway, the bassline rhythm that gets me through the day. Before you, my frequency was all white noise and haste. Now I'm tuned into your channel, no room for a wasted space. Yeah, this is the analog calls, the sound of the needle dropping. The only place I know where the anxiety stops spinning. Body stops spinning. I swore I wouldn't open this book, kept the cover tight shut, scared of the weight of forever stuck deep in a rut. But there's a quiet safety in knowing where the future starts, and it starts right here where you're reading all my scars. The slow burn warmth is deeper than the flash of a spark. You flip the switch on the dark, leaving your permanent mark. I'm finally grounded, my roots are settled, I'm standing still. This isn't just emotion, baby, this is purely will. Just the hiss of the tape running low, jazz keys on loop, that soft familiar glow. Yeah, stay right there, don't move an inch, and I love cold. The only sound I need to hear.
Early afternoon light, dust motes dancing in the beam. You're scrolling through a feed, lost in a low-key daydream. The sound of traffic is muffled 2 floors above the noise. We used to seek the fireworks, now we prioritize poise. Used to date the drama, the kind that left a residual ring, like a coffee stain goes on everything. But we built the space quiet, muted the phone's blue glow. Just the hum of the fridge and the jazz keeps playing slow. I catch your profile, slight crease above the brow, and realize I stopped calculating the how. I quit checking the receipt, quit looking for the catch. You're the one in hoodie, the perfect comfort match. Yeah, I came to this table pre-wired for the flight. Always plotting the exit, bracing for the fight. But the tension dissolved like a sugar cube in tea. This ain't a temporary lease, baby, this feels like legacy. You're the 92 BPM heartbeat, the rhythm I lean into, the sync of the signal. everything I didn't know I needed to. We ain't cinematic high art, no grand gestures across the city skyline. We're the perfect loop track, effortless, consistent and fine. You're the quiet revelation, the volume turned down low, the only anchor I know. Where I'm finally letting go. Remember I showed you the scars, the ones they call baggage. You just look past the damage, that those are just mileage. Took away the pressure to perform, the need to put on a show. My vulnerability felt easy, like watching winter thought slow. We talk about budget, student loans, and that chip mug. It's the granular details tucked inside the intimate snug. I used to think love meant shouting across a crowded room, but it's hearing the whisper sitting right here in this quiet gloom. It's the shared headphone moment, both leaning into the same sound, finding solid level footing while the rest of the world spins around. No need for hiding filters, no gloss applied to the scene, just the raw unedited footage of what all this truly means. They say falling takes effort, gravity demands a steep drop, but with you it was horizontal, like coming to a full gentle stop. I always plan for the break, the inevitable fracture point. Now I'm planning it up, texture the way our two future joint. We're building slow masonry brick by quiet brick. This isn't just a moment, it's permanent non-stick. Yeah, permanent non-stick. Just your breath close by, the keys are playing the fate. No need to rush, chill side. I'm right here, 92 BPM, and counting. Late night syllabus, 92 BPM in the background. City traffic sounding muffled, nowhere left to run now. Used to keep the TV on just to drown out the silence. Now I'm turning down the score just to listen to your guidance. And maybe just your breathing, steady rhythm on the pillow. The high tap of your fingers sketching shapes on my elbow. I call it focus, baby, you call it deep meditation. My past self with devoted, craving constant stimulation. I'm archiving the chaos, scrolling slower through the feed. It's less about what I want and more about what I need. And what I need is low consequence, low drama, high truth. A quiet understanding forged outside of my youth. The world keeps trying to sell me fireworks and steep climbs, but we're just watching documentaries and marking off time. It's like the universe paused, check the sync settings twice, and everything that worried me just melted like ice. I don't rehearse my sentences before I speak them to you. That kind of peace is priceless, that kind of feeling is new. This ain't a highlight real love, no big budget production, no big budget production. It's the lo-fi hum on the speakers during deep self-reflection, during deep self-reflection. It's crosswalk clarity when the flashing stops and it's green light. I stop searching for the high point. Now I'm just focused on the stillness of the night. Yeah, we got that smooth vocal flow, that the jazz key progression. It's not demanding attention, it's just pure shared possession. I am just focused on the stillness of the night. Yeah, we got that smooth vocal flow, that jazz key progression. It's not demanding attention, it's just pure shared possession. We measure loyalty and share passwords and morning coffee pours. You know the playlist I need when I'm staring at the floors. And you don't press the issue, you just sit across the table, building something sturdy, slow and totally stable. Used to chase the adrenaline and making it complicated. Now I prefer the comfort of being accurately stated. I mean, you know the history, the scars beneath the veneer. Somehow the proximity just chased away the fear. This apartment feels bigger when we're both occupying space. I stopped trying to escape, found a home in your face. And every notification is silenced on my phone screen, cause the sound of you humming is the only priority I need. It's the quiet luxury of knowing that the commitment is real. Less about the rush, more about the way we organically heal. It's like the universe paused, check the sync settings twice, and everything that worried me just melted like ice. I don't rehearse my sentences before I speak them to you. The kind of peace is priceless, the kind of feeling. This ain't a highlight real love, no big budget production, budget production. It's the lo-fi hum on the speakers during deep self-reflection, deep self-reflection. It's crosswalk clarity when the flashing stops and it's green light. I stop searching for the high point. Yeah. Now I'm just focused on the stillness of the night. Yeah, yeah, we got that smooth vocal flow, that jazz key progression. It's not demanding attention, it's just pure shared possession. I'm just focused on the stillness of the night. Yeah, yeah, we got that smooth vocal
vocal flow, yeah. That jazz key progression, it's not demanding attention, it's just pure shared possession. I used to think that in love meant losing all control, a tidal wave that swallowed up the logic of the soul. But this is grounded, this is building without dust. This is the simple equation of knowing who to trust. This ain't a temporary lease, no seasonal rental. This is the framework, the foundation, strictly fundamental. I finally let the guard down, let the beat breathe low and slow. This quiet assurance is the deepest feeling I know. Yeah, just a hum, yeah. Jazz keys drifting past 4 a.m. My head on your shoulder, yeah. No rep on your shoulder. Just crosswalk clarity, yeah. And the perfect gentle way to
Midnight oil burning, screen glow hitting the cracked phone glass. Just watching you navigate your scroll through the archival past. You got the jazz keys humming, faint enough to be bedroom air. And I'm caught up in the rhythm of the way you run your fingers through your hair. Yeah, I built the wall of analog silence, kept my commitments loose. Thought I was too detailed, too complex for a standard excuse. But you memorized the syntax of my quietest pauses. You found a hidden basement in my mind and you changed the clauses, yeah. I wasn't searching for the blueprint, I was fine with the half-lit scenes. But you walked in like a minor chord progression, effortlessly clean. No grand entrance, no velvet ropes, just my worn-out cotton tee. You turned my guarded fortress into a residency, yeah. And every theory I constructed on how to stay reserved and whole, just disintegrated slowly in the pocket of your soul. I never thought I'd settle down the seismic shifts I carry, but suddenly the weight feels balanced and the view is less blurry. This isn't flashbulb blur, it's gravitational. It's the anchor in the background, static, something operational. Your necessary rhythm when the world decides to stall. The reason why I answer every time you choose to call. You found the loophole in my defenses. The spot I swore was locked, you're the piece I didn't know I needed. The foundation finally rocked, yeah, I'm fully invested. Reading the fine print twice. You're the quietest storm that changed my forecast, and the temperature is nice. Map out the logistics of two people sharing one cluttered space. The mundane details suddenly hold grace. Finding your socks in the wrong place. Used to keep the vault tightly sealed, only showed the surface layer. Now we're discussing childhood or trauma over cold pizza. No prayer needed, just the honesty of holding space for every single flaw. You don't judge the dark parts, you just treat them like the natural law. Remember how I swore I couldn't handle the long-term view. Now I'm sketching out the next 5 years, and every sketch includes you. We speak in shared references encrypted inside jokes that fly, like the smooth transition on the beat when the bass line slides by. It's the confidence that comes from knowing where you stand. A quiet partnership built firmly on concrete, not shifting sand. And every moment that I spent believing I could manage solo feels distant now, a previous existence, just a slow tempo. I never thought I'd feel this steady, this completely understood. You make the chaos make sense, yeah. You make the noise sound good. This isn't flashbulb love, it's gravitational. It's the anchor in the background, static, something operational. Your necessary rhythm when the world decides to stall. The reason why I answer every time you choose to call. You found the loophole in my defenses. The spot I swore was locked, you're the piece I didn't know I needed. The foundation finally rocked, yeah, I'm fully invested. Reading the fine print twice. You're the quietest storm that changed my forecast, and the temperature is nice. Maybe falling wasn't about the drop, but the cushion landing. Maybe my cynicism was just lack of proper understanding, yeah. You proved the theory wrong, that solitude was the safest bet.
Now I prefer the vulnerability, the risk that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, you're the blueprint update, the system override, the one person I look forward to just sitting here beside, just sitting here beside, listening to the track repeat in love. The loop is closed now, yeah, quietly. Loophole theory validated. Yeah. 92 beats per minute, that's the rhythm of the room. When the city finally settles down and dissipates the gloom, I was strictly solo, noise cancelling, headphones always locked. Guard up, clocking out, the conversation lines were blocked. But you moved in subtle like a minor chord progression, changed the whole mood, didn't need a loud confession. Now the silence doesn't ring, it cushions soft and low. We're watching something muted, scrolling through the afterglow of a day that ran too fast, demanding all my focus. But the moment you sit down, I forget every bogus email, every deadline, every misplaced piece of effort. You're the anchor that was missing, steady on the current effort, yeah. You took the static out of every single frequency. It's just us now, existing in high definition intimacy. And I try to intellectualize, call it perfect circumstance, but my logic stalls out every time I catch a glance. I thought I had the blueprint, the solo travel itinerary. Now I'm rewriting the whole script, changing the vocabulary. Yeah, this must be what they meant when they talked about the harmony. Cause you're the melody that's just my life from start to warm for me. You're the low fidelity light, the one I didn't see coming, the bassline in my chest that keeps my fractured pieces humming. I'm in love, like the first time the needle drops and sticks. This smooth confessional hip-hop, you're the jazz keys and the kicks. I memorize the way your shadow falls across the wall at 3 a.m. The casual genius of the small remarks you make when you condemn some mediocre art, or the way you fold the blankets back. I used to think that history was only what the records track. We're making our own volume, chapter 1 is taking shape, sharing complicated passwords and the taste of burnt landscape. But coffee brewed too strong, we trade the secrets we don't mention. The heavy thoughts I used to carry for attention or detention are just lighter now like clouds. You don't analyze or chase them, you just look me in the eye and casually erase them. I never knew my space could feel the safest unobserved. I was building fortresses, and for you, the drawbridge curve. I don't even check my phone when we're walking through the garden. Every other external pressure, I don't ask for anybody's pardon. This isn't just a good time, this isn't just the company. This is foundational, the air that's necessary to breathe. This must be what they meant when they talked about the harmony. Cause you're the melody that's just my life from start to warm for me. You're the low fidelity light, the one I didn't see coming, the bassline in my chest that keeps my fractured pieces humming. I'm in love, like the first time the needle drops and sticks. This smooth confessional hip-hop, you're the jazz keys and the kicks. I used to treat affection like a temporary loan, a lease agreement with an expiration date I wrote alone. But with you there's no fine print, just open space and room to set. And suddenly the fear of losing feels sharper than cold metal. Yeah, I'm vulnerable, I pass it through this microphone, but I wouldn't trade this feeling for the silence I've known. I'm perfectly out of control, perfectly found and grounded. Yeah, low fidelity light, low fidelity light, low fidelity light, low fidelity light. When you and time moving rhythm, low fidelity light, low fidelity light, low fidelity. Yeah, the jazz keys and the kids, low fidelity light, low fidelity light, low fidelity light. We moving time, we moving rhythm, low fidelity light, low fidelity light. Yeah, the jazz keys and the kicks, yeah. Low fidelity, just us, yeah. In this high definition intimacy, yeah.
City hum outside the pain used to keep the whole block nervous. Now it's just white noise serving a different kind of purpose. 3 the AM light spill, hitting the hardwood grain. Used to think love was a fever dream, now it's just this calm rain. I used to move in high gear, grinding on an empty tank, chasing signal bars, worry about the bank or what the critics think. But with you, the tempo drops 30 beats, the baseline smooths. We operating on a different set of lo-fi rules. The conversation doesn't need to circle back to profit. We can sit in silence, listen to the drip from the faucet, and I won't flinch, won't need to fill the empty air. You're the quiet understanding that settles everywhere. Yeah. This is the low fidelity logic. Why I don't panic when the world stops. You are the perfect syncopation, skipping all the manufactured noise. My internal monologue is quiet when your voice is the only choice. We're riding this frequency, pure wave, no drops. Yeah, we calibrated the system, this is the anchor point. A slow burn truth in a culture built on the disjoint. I found a pocket, the groove, the effortless reason. We made a home out of every passing season. Remember all the firewalls I built up, protecting the structure. I thought I had to guard the whole hard drive from rupture. You didn't storm the gate, you just walked in with the back door key and said, let's reboot the architecture honestly. You see the glitches, you recognize the backcode in my past, but you still chose to patch the system knowing how long it would last. There's no performance art, no need to over-edit the script, just the unfiltered daylight, the way our shoulders fit. When the headphones are shared and the melody barely audible, that's the intimacy making the chaos conquerable. I'm letting go with the need for the spotlight, the need for the buzz. Real connection happens down here on the frequency that always was. This is the low fidelity logic. Why I don't panic when the world stops. You are the perfect syncopation, skipping all the manufactured noise. My internal monologue is quiet when your voice is the only choice. We're riding this frequency, pure wave, no drops. Yeah, we calibrated the system, this is the anchor point. A slow burn truth in a culture built on a disjoint. I found a pocket to groove, the effortless reason. We made a home out of every passing season. They sell romance in HD, 4K resolution on every date, but that high definition clarity, man, it just feels like fate. Too rushed, too flawless, too much pressure on the light. I prefer the analog static, the way we argue to make it right. This isn't a dopamine spike, a fleeting rush of the new. This is foundational work, the rhythm of the things we constantly do. You're the peace treaty sign in the middle of my storming brain, the only place I check my phone just to power it down again. Yeah, yeah. Just holding the space, watching the dust move strip in the low light. Low fidelity logic, that's the drift, nothing else required. Just a low hum of the jazz keys. We just loop it back, we loop it back. We loop it back.
Just checking the feed again. Too much static, too many updates. Need that 92 constant. Used to think the connection was strictly satellite. A flicker on the screen glowing late into the night. Running on max volume, trying hard to keep the pace. Performance for the algorithm, hot in the empty space. But then you walked in and the whole room just downshifted. Like the needle dropped deep, the whole mood gifted. Suddenly the urgency of unread emails didn't land. And the 10 things I was juggling slipped right out of my hands. See, this ain't the highlight reel, no cinematic score. It's the comfortable silence right behind the kitchen door. The way you analyze the shadows when the city finally sleeps. That low frequency dial that the world secretly keeps. And the ambient noise outside, the constant city hum just fades to the background when your conversations come. You're the vinyl hits before the greatest track starts spinning. You're the only honest number that my soul has been dialing in.
This love is a jazz chord resolving into peace. It's the steady pocket groove that grants my mind release. We're riding 92 BPM, never rushing the flow. A lo-fi meditation where the deep secrets grow. Yeah, you the only one who sees the RP rhythm of my heart, the essential melody right before the whole thing falls apart. You're the anchor in the tempo, the analog truth I need. The only signal coming in without a trace of feed.
Yeah, I let the mask drop when the front door finally clicks shut. Show you the rough sketch version, the tied and the cut. No need for the filter, no careful light to cast. Just the two of us existing, making quiet moments last. We talk about everything and nothing Stepping past midnight, the complex simplicity of morning in the fading light. You understand the shorthand, the side of me surrender. The way I pace the hardwood when the world tries to bend her is the way your hand find mine when we're walking down the street. A gentle calibration that makes the chaos taste sweet. We skip the loud declarations, they feel too cheap and worn. This feels ancient and essential like the day that I was born. And the ambient noise outside, the constant city hum just fades to the background when your conversations come. You're the vinyl hits before the greatest tracks start spinning. You're the only honest number that my soul has been dialing in.
This love is a jazz chord resolving into peace. It's the steady pocket groove that grants my mind release. We're riding 92 BPM, never rushing the flow. A low for meditation where the deep secrets grow. Yeah, you the only one who sees the offbeat rhythm of my heart, the essential melody right before the whole thing falls apart. You're the anchor in the tempo, the analog truth I need, the only signal coming in without a trace of feed.
Maybe I found a frequency that nobody else can hear, the one that cuts the volume on anxiety and fear. It's not loud, it's just solid, a fundamental low and drone, the quiet realization that I'm finally truly home. Yeah, this isn't manufactured bliss or temporary high. It's just a slow burn feeling right beneath the open sky. Just a steady low end, tuned in, no noise canceling required. Just you and the keys on loop, 92 constant. That's the BPM. Constant, that's the BPM. Yeah. Oh, the frequency was cluttered. Everything was set to maximum. My screen time was appalling, trapped inside the digital asylum. I used to chase the buzz of dopamine on loop, scrolling through the highlight reel, disconnected from the truth. The city symphonies are frantic, off-key percussion, always on the move, no space for real self-discussion. And you stepped into the frame and the whole calibration shifted. Suddenly the high contrast noise, it got muted and lifted. See, I'm used to trying hard, performing for the cheap seats, but with you, it's just the raw tape, all the flaws and the repeat beats. You don't edit the awkward pause or the way my rhythm stutters. You just pull me closer, whispering low beneath the covers. And that's the definition of the feeling. That lowest clarity, like finding the perfect sample, the sound that sets the rarity. You're the jazz key solo gliding over my anxious 92 BPM. The syncopated timing that I swear I'm finally living in. We ain't looking for a headline, we just moving in slow motion. Two parts locked in orbit, running on quiet devotion. You are the destination where the background noise must cease. You are the comfort track, the unexpected heavy piece. To think love meant fireworks or some dramatic cinematic sweep, but ours is just the silence when we fall asleep, breathing deep. It's the faded gray hoodie you claim but never actually wore. It's our shared playlist spinning, knocking on my apartment door. You handle my complex syntax of things I'm scared to verbalize. You know the hunger in my eyes before the hunger centralized. We could spend 8 hours doing nothing but adjacent tasks. Me on my laptop grinding, you behind your reading glasses mask. But that proximity, man, that's the true definition of a high. Knowing if the world outside burns out, you're still standing by. No need for high fidelity, no need to be the loudest sound, just that smooth vocal texture when we're alone on sacred ground. Yeah, and that's the definition of the feeling. That lowest clarity, like finding the perfect sample, the sound that sets the rarity. You're the jazz key solo gliding over my anxious 92 BPM. The syncopated timing that I swear I'm finally living in. We're looking for a headline, we just moving in slow motion. Two parts locked in orbit, running on quiet devotion. You are the destination where the background noise must cease. Maybe the greatest flex is in the flashy front or the diamond rings. It's the quiet confidence you brought to all the small things. This ain't temporary vinyl, this is embedded tape delay. The kind of deep commitment that refuses to decay. I stopped chasing the high voltage, the shock value, the immediate rush. I traded all for this texture, the slow and steady hush. You are the only person who can make the chaos feel composed. Yeah, lowest clarity, just the sound of the rain outside and your heartbeat next to me. Perfect rhythm section. We found a pocket, we found a piece. No need to turn the volume up. This is loud enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is loud enough. Yeah, yeah.
92 BPM, the dust motes dancing in the amber glow. Another Tuesday night, just background noise, but it's the place we grow. Yeah. Your shoulder pressed against mine, navigating endless fees. We built a mansion out of quiet breathing and unspoken needs. I hear the tenny bass bleed softly from your shared AirPod set. A subtle metronome that reminds me what I haven't messed up yet. Used to think attachment was a vulnerability, a weak encryption. Now my whole defense is leaning on the strength of this small, deep inscription. I'm cataloging every twitch and micro expression when the screen dims. This is the closest I've ever been to shedding all my former skins. Yeah, 5 years I spent perfecting how to exit cleanly, zero trace. But you rewrite the code just by existing here in this specific space. I was running heavy firewall, every port was sealed and locked down. Then you walked in with a simple key and bypassed the whole ghost town. And now the comfort isn't loud, it's in the steady hum. You keep the kind of deep sync you only find when the whole world is asleep. You only find when the whole world is asleep. This ain't the high drama movie score, no violins and sudden sweet. It's the lo-fi beat on loop. The secrets that the quiet keeps. We found a perfect frequency, the hidden syncopated rhythm. You are my low-light algorithm, my necessary system. Yeah, the perfect frequency, the hidden syncopated rhythm. Yeah, my steady low-light algorithm. Yeah, yeah. I pulled the inventory of my bad habits, laid them on the floor for you. The way I overthink the future and the things I rarely follow through. You just sipped your herbal tea and told me I appreciate the data, but I'm here for the whole stack, not just a polished numerator. That's the difference, man, the way you let the flaws breathe in the room. No expectation of perfection, just an antidote to loom and gloom. We're not sprinting toward the finish line, we're just maintaining elevation. This continuous integration, a peaceful, stable, new foundation. Remember I told you my anxiety felt like a constant radio fuzz. You just put your hand on my wrist and suddenly the signal was clear. That simple touch, better than any meditation app I pay for. Guess this is what it feels like when you stop searching and just stay for more. Ay, this ain't the high drama movie score. No violins and sudden sweet. It's the lo-fi beat on loop. The secrets that the quiet keeps. We found the perfect frequency, the hidden syncopated rhythm. You are my low-light algorithm, my necessary system. Yeah, the perfect frequency, the hidden syncopated rhythm. My steady low-light algorithm. They say love is fire, I say it's the slow, consistent burn. A lesson in patience and things you never thought you had to learn. It's the way the jazz keys hit just right on a 7-chord change. Unexpected dissonance that resolves perfectly, stays in range. We don't need to fill the space with noise. Silence is where the meaning starts. The language we develop, spoken only with our beating heart. Yeah, look at the moon through the window pane just to slow this off. It's you and me again. The screen is off now, I can finally see your face clear. No filter necessary, just the presence right here. Low light algorithm. We stay in sync.
Sunrise at the east side glass, 9 a.m. but we still move slow. I used to chase the finish line, now I just watch the way your breathing goes. Got that cold brew, sweating condensation, jazz keys looping in the kitchen there. And I swear, the only notification I check for is knowing that you're still right there. Used to keep a fortress, every window shuttered, iron will, couldn't let it bend. Thought vulnerability was just a word they throw around to sell a happy end. But you walking like a melody I didn't know the tuning for. Perfectly aligned. Suddenly the world noise fades and the only pulse I feel is what we designed. This ain't a Hollywood climax, it's the quiet hum when the city sleeps. And I'm digging the depths of commitment, baby, the promise that my silence keeps. You're the quiet frequency, yeah, you turn the volume down, the anchor pointing heavy weather, every restless worry drown. Used to feel like static interference, too much signal, nowhere to land. Now I just breathe steady when you take my hand. It's a lo-fi love beat, 92 BPM, a foundational truth. The calm that settles every frantic moment of my youth. Yeah. I analyze the details, I'm obsessed with the nuance of how you prioritize my space. How you leave your rings on a nightstand, or the easy honesty on your face. We talk less about futures written in stone, more about the moment we inhabit now. Cause the past was full of shaky foundations, promises I didn't know how to allow. I built walls so high, they reached the atmosphere, hoping no one could look inside. But you came equipped with a satellite dish, found a signal where I used to hide. Remember that argument over miscommunication, felt like the world was spinning off the track. We didn't run, we didn't raise the stakes, we just leaned into the contact. And that's the definition of the win, not the absence of the fight, but knowing we both wanna walk through the darkness just to reach the fading light. You're the quiet frequency, yeah, you turn the volume down, the anchor pointing heavy weather, every restless worry drown. Used to feel like static interference, too much signal, nowhere to land. Now I just breathe steady when you take my hand. It's a lo-fi love beat, 92 BPM, a foundational truth. The calm that settles every frantic moment of my youth. Yeah. This intimacy's digital, visible and real. No filters needed for the way your energy makes me feel. It's not just infatuation, it's chemistry backed by choice. I found my melody when I finally heard your voice. Yeah, I could lose everything else in the archive, the files of digital clutter. But if I keep this alignment, nothing else really matters. Just this slow rumble, this foundational truth. Quiet frequency, yeah, that's you. 92 BPM, we just lose.
The city keeps its promises of constant noise, but we lock the static out. Clock hands stuck on that gentle 3, and the streetlights faded out. Used to chase the high like a viral trend, refreshing the timeline for a sign. Now the only notification I need is the way your hand found mine. Yeah, underneath the throw blanket, threadbare cotton on a futon we call home. I watch the glow from your phone screen, reflecting off the water glass foam. I was looking for some seismic shift, a Hollywood soundtrack crescendo, but this is just breathing, tandem pacing, quiet as the vinyl tempo. We used to perform the script, the perfect angle, the curated date night photo. Now the biggest victory is when we pick the right film and the credits roll slow. This ain't a thunderclap, baby, this is just a frequency lock. A steady 92 BPM rhythm matching the silent tick-tock. This is the 2 AM algorithm, simple code, no need to debug. We found a perfect effortless system, just 2 bodies on 1 rug. It feels less like passion, more like the gravity keeping me here. A low-key, smooth commitment, dissolving all the lingering fear. We got the calculus worked out, no complex equations to solve. This is the quiet architecture of love, and I'm watching it evolve. I think about all the energy I wasted trying to be the main event, trying to make myself impressive, calculating every text I send. Yeah, now we just split the DoorDash, debate the merits of a shared savings account. And the comfort in that mundane truth is something I can't discount. You know the precise tilt of my head when I'm about to fall asleep mid-sentence. You know the one story I hate repeating, the one fragile piece of penitence. And you never ask me to explain it, you just hand me the headphones, a silent acknowledgement that this territory is mutually known. Yeah. We built this refuge from the buzz, a sanctuary made of worn out furniture and sound. And even when the rest of the world is spinning, here to be the solid ground. No, this ain't a thunderclap, baby. This is just a frequency lock, a steady 92 BPM rhythm matching the silent tick-tock. This is the 2 a.m. algorithm, simple code, no need to debug. We found a perfect, effortless system, just two bodies on one rug. It feels less like passion, more like the gravity keeping me here. A low-key, smooth commitment, dissolving all the lingering fear. We got the calculus worked out, no complex equations to solve. This is the quiet architecture of love, and I'm watching it evolve. Maybe true fidelity isn't based on grand vows or rings, but on the choice to stay when the silence starts to sting. And finding that the silence doesn't sting at all, it's just peace. A deep breath you didn't know you needed, a final smooth release. We were both high risk chaos, 120 BPM anxiety. Yeah. But together we found the jazz keys, the smooth flow, the soft sobriety. Yeah. Of knowing that when I open my eyes, this specific comfort will remain. A self-correcting system designed to weather any storm or rain. Yeah. Designed to stay in sync. Yeah. Just a low hum of the fridge and the sound of your breathing. Lo-fi, lo-fi, algorithm complete. Good morning.
Yeah. Used to treat my whole apartment like a hotel lobby. Never stayed long enough to settle or start a hobby. My phone screen blue light used to be the only lighthouse, guiding me through the zero sum calculations of the night route. I was high speed rail, never pausing at the platforms. A complex algorithm built to weather all the bad storms. Then you wrote it quiet, no dramatic soundtrack, just sorting out the clutter on my digital backpack. You didn't ask me to change the speed, just the direction. Told me my obsession with self-defense was just inflection. Now we split the bandwidth, scrolling side by side, sharing the same earbuds, nowhere left to hide. It's that feeling when the low hum of the fridge becomes a steady rhythm that can build a quiet bridge between the future worry and the mess that was the past. The silence that we share is built to truly last. You're the anchor at the 92 BPM, the calibrated pause in the traffic jam. You drop the static interference, smooth the tone, made a comfortable silence my new microphone. Yeah, the static interference dropped since you came through. My frequency was chaos, now it's tuned to you. You're the steady counter rhythm, the necessary slow down, the only piece of peace I found in this so busy town. This so busy town. Sunlight hits the rug in the late afternoon. Got Coltrane humming low on the old Bluetooth. You're reading out loud something off of your timeline, and I just watched the way your hands trace the design lines of the coffee cup. And suddenly I realized that the definition of wealth is looking through your eyes. I was chasing dopamine hits, quick fixes, fast lanes. You show me the beauty locked inside the mundane frames. We talk less about what we plan to do and more about the version of ourselves we're building, me and you. It's like finding the perfect sample loop, unskippable clean, the final crucial element of a perfect time machine. It's the feeling when the low hum of the fridge becomes a steady rhythm that can build a quiet bridge between the future worry and the mess that was the past. The silence that we share is built to truly last. You're the anchor at the 92 BPM, the calibrated pause in the traffic jam. You drop static interference, smooth the tone, made a comfortable silence my new microphone. Yeah, the static interference dropped since you came through. My frequency was chaos, now it's tuned to you. You're the steady counter rhythm, the necessary slow down, the only piece of peace I found in town. I thought I built my fortress out of titanium and doubt. Kept every feeling shielded so nothing leaked out. But you never battered down the walls, you just waited near the gate. So whenever you're ready, we can just sit and collaborate. And loving you is simple, not complicated algebra. Just easy conversation and shared worn out furniture. We don't try to solve the world, we just settle down deep. Let the lo-fi beat up softly while the whole city sleeps. Yeah, let the whole city sleep. 92 beats per minute, just me and you breathing. Just the jazz keys rolling, low gain, low heat. We found a better get it low. We found the pocket, we found the pocket. The calibrated pause.
Late night scrolling, you're the glow on the periphery. Talking low about the future, building shared mythology. No dramatic monologue, just a scent of cedar smoke. Watching reruns while the city finally learns to choke on the silence. Yeah, we found the antidote to static. My past was high, deafening chaos. You're cinematic in the softest filter. A 92 BPM vibe, where every hurried thought I had just learns to let it slide. I used to chase the flash, the temporary high beam. Now I just crave the quiet hum of living out a slow dream. You know, the perfect playlist when my energy is low. And used to laugh at the dumbest inside jokes we know. This ain't frantic fire, this is necessary air. You rearrange the coordinates, you make the madness rare. I found the rhythm in your silence, baby, steady beat. The safest place to land my two unstable moving feet. You are the map I didn't know I needed on this concrete street. The quiet revolution is just me and you complete. I came equipped with defenses thick and rusty armor plate. But you bypassed the whole system, walked right through the open gate. Never forced a conversation, never pressed the vulnerability. Just sat and waited patient, offered genuine instability. It's the small truths that hold the weight. The morning breath, the messy hair, the trust to leave my phone unlocked and know that nothing's hidden there. We don't compete for space, we just expand the boundaries wide. I learned what commitment means when you stop giving me somewhere to hide. Sharing earbuds on a flight, hearing different sides of the track. Knowing if the worst comes down, you're always gonna have my back. This ain't frantic fire, this is necessary air. You rearrange the coordinates, you make the madness rare. I found the rhythm in your silence, baby, steady beat. The safest place to land my two unstable moving feet. You are the map I didn't know I needed on this concrete street. The quiet revolution is just me and you complete. I swore I couldn't trust the feeling, thought sincerity was fake. Assumed that anything that's peaceful had to have a heavy state. But you are making sense of lines I couldn't figure out before. Opening the window while I struggle with the rusted door. It's not perfect, but it's ours defined by shared geometry. A low fidelity future that was meant for you and me. Yeah. Just a hum of the fridge light, the jazz keys looping low. Head on my chest, watching the credits start to slowly roll. That's it, right there. The choir revolution, 92 BPM. That's a cadence, just us. Fading slow, a Another news cycle finished, another panic show, but the noise is just background static when your head is on my chest. You the counter melody, put my anxious mind to rest. It's a specific kind of quiet, the way we settle in. No need for heavy lifting, no performance to begin. Just the low hum of the fridge and the lo-fi beat selection. You already know the past, go to my deepest introspection. I skip the small talk phase, move straight to the essential facts. We don't need the bright spotlights, just soft muted tracks. It ain't a firework moment, no crescendo, no big blast. It's the comfortable frequency built to perfectly last. This ain't the fleeting buzz, I had it quickly dissipates. I found my center mass, baby, this is the steady state. Yeah, the jazz keys drop just right, low humming in the room. This quiet gravity, the space where we assume forever is a Tuesday night, no need to complicate. I call it love, yeah, the steady state. I used to chase the drama, the sharp edges and the speed, but now I look for silence, planting necessary seeds. You know the one spot where the floorboards creak when I step out. You know my favorite rhyming place without a single doubt. We finish each other's parts, I share the notes in the margins, like two old vinyl records spinning in tandem margins. I watch you red beneath the lamplight, your focus absolute, and that Monday moment holds the most profound undeniable root of feeling settled, like the compass finally found its true north. You are the destination, no need to send out more scouts for. It ain't a firework moment, no crescendo, no big cry, no big blast. It's the comfortable frequency built to perfectly last. This ain't the fleeting buzz, I hide it quickly dissipates. I found my center mass, baby, this is a steady state. Yeah, the jazz keys drop just right, low humming in the room. This quiet gravity, the space where we assume forever is a Tuesday night, no need to complicate. I call it love, yeah, the steady state. I try to build walls before, sturdy brick and heavy stone, hoping that protection meant I wouldn't feel alone. But you brought the sunlight through, showed me how to drop the guard. You made vulnerability feel like the softest card. Now I don't feel the need to filter anything I say. This is the clarity I never thought I'd see in the days. The anchor in the tempest, the certainty in the doubt. The one truth I can't live without. It ain't a firework moment, no crescendo, no big blast. It's the comfortable frequency built to perfectly last. This ain't the fleeting buzz, the hide it quickly dissipates. I found my center mass, baby, this is a steady state. Yeah, the jazz keys drop just right, low humming in the room. This quiet gravity, the space where we assume forever is a Tuesday night, no need to complicate. I call it love, yeah, the steady state. On repeat, low-key, undeniable. It's feeling right here, fully sustainable. The steady state.